To be honest, at the beginning of our conversation, I thought that our friendship was on the table and we were basically going to be done. But we talked for an hour and a half hour that was boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie, like I was saying stuff that was not friendship worthy, but because I felt ashamed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other people know now what I hate about myself.
The Sonder Experience.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for watching episode 65 of the Sonder Experience. We got Amy on as a special guest host. We also have her husband, Tayr Arnold. This is her episode. I told her, this is how the conversation went. We're texting about Sam's Club, and I'm like, hey, pick me up some ground turkey, right?
Oh, I didn't.
No, you didn't pick me up. And then she goes, hey, I'm free on Saturday, by the way, for the podcast. And I was like, oh, she snuck her way up on there.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
She's
all right,
like
cool.
that.
This is going to be your episode then. So when you come on, you're in charge. I'll be your guest. So I'm your guest. He's your guest. This is your episode. And we're going to let you take it away from here on out.
From here on out?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Don't get nervous.
Well, I already am.
Don't get nervous. Go ahead. I got my good shirt on.
You got your good shirt on. You took a shower.
I'm ready.
So I thought today we would talk about people on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like both of us, we have our social media platforms for fitness and forums and stuff like that. Do you think when you post about your workouts or whatever, it's more of an encouragement for you? Like you setting up that you're going to make a post is going to make you want to work out more? Or are you doing it because you want to encourage other people more?
Does it have to be one or the other?
I guess no. It could be like, which more important? How does it go on your list?
So when I first started, it started off as a weight loss journal. Like I wasn't going to get famous. Nobody was going to know who I was. This was just a way for me to like stay accountable and stay on my
your journey.
Stay on my numbers, be on my journey. I wasn't going to do trends. I wasn't going to do the fucking dances. I wasn't going to do any of that, right?
Come on, man.
And then all of a sudden, I just blew up. People liked my story. People liked the way that I talk. And so now that I'm up there, I have this pressure like it's not just for me anymore. Mm-hmm. But also, like, so many people are watching, and just with all the DMs that I get, it's just like I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's an added pressure because I've let myself down my whole life as far as weight loss stuff goes. So now that I'm like, I have that pressure on me, and then the added pressure of hundreds and thousands of people, I've taken a step back.
Yeah.
From posting. I used to try to post like 3 to 4 videos a day.
You were crazy. You posted a lot.
Yeah. And it became overwhelming because my life was now measured in likes and comments. It wasn't measured in my family, my children. It wasn't, it
wasn't your journey anymore.
I got carried away.
Everybody else's
and
journey.
And the fame, I use that very loosely. It gets to you. You start feeling this pressure of, like I said, you don't want to let anybody down. Mm-hmm. When it first started, like I said, just for me. I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah.
But also it's difficult because life, it throws curveballs, right? So, and in a journey, there's ups and downs, especially on a weight loss journey. And if you're trying to do something on you, fixing a car or putting together a puzzle, there's physical evidence of your progress. Weight loss is not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing as well. So when I put the pressure on okay, I'm going to do this, I almost solidified that like this was going to be the final time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still a fucking human. I fail, I fuck up, And so I got to show that stuff, and then people start getting upset, and that I don't get to just be me anymore. Yeah. I have to be like you saw 30 seconds of my life on a clip at a time. Yeah. You don't know me. They
didn't see the rest of the week.
At all.
All the crap that you went through.
At all. And there's part of me sometimes where I wish I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. There's part that because everything's got to be on film, and
Mm-hmm.
you get to this weird place in your heart where you're like, nothing matters anymore if I don't catch it on camera,
Yeah.
and that's a shitty place to.
Yeah,
to
because
be
you've
in.
ever had a workout where it's like, this was such a good workout, but then you're like, well, nobody else sees it, so
So it doesn't count,
yeah.
and that sucks.
That's why I don't post too many workouts, because I'm afraid I'm going to get to that point where I'm like going to be that person that's constantly like, oh, well, I didn't record it. So I was like, no, but you did get a great workout in,
Right.
you know?
How do you feel about when she posts about her stuff?
Obviously, I want her to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, and
He
Because
sees some of those DMs.
yeah, I've seen some of those DMs. She showed me as a woman, she gets more garbage, you might say, than you would as a guy.
What's the weirdest DM you've seen?
Balls and butthole.
Oh, you don't get that kind of
There's
stuff. Okay.
no difference, dude.
Okay, it's true nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is one of those things that I'm glad that she does kind of keep it controlled, because it's one of those things. Social media, as I like to say, the internet, social media, it's a powerful tool.
Yeah.
But the more powerful a tool is, the more dangerous it is.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's like you're pointing out, it's like on one hand, you were starting with like accountability thing.
Mhm.
That was cool. Yeah, we need to be accountable. All of us do.
Right.
We're imperfect. We're trying to struggle. It helps to have somebody else be there to say, hey, you did good, bro, but you need to work on this. And
Right.
so, but yeah, sometimes like with social media, as you were noticing, as I've seen with other people, as she's struggling to deal with too, it gets out of control.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're there for the likes.
And you
know?
lose yourself.
Yeah.
You lose yourself quickly. I've always, first of all, let me stop right here. Is your mic on for sure? I fucked up last time. Is it on?
This is
Yeah, it's on.
And yours is on?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Next time.
My mic wasn't on last time?
No, mine.
Oh, yours wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good because you were laughing so hard.
I know.
Maybe it's
I
fine.
fixed it.
You were laughing pretty hard.
What was I going to say? Oh, I've always wondered, so like as an influencer, because that's what we are. If you're on social media and you're posting, you're an influencer. But I've always wondered what it's like for the spouse or significant other of an influencer to see that, because I know what kind of pressure it has to me, and you know what kind of pressure it has to you.
Yeah.
Do you see that taking a toll? Do you see that hurting her?
I can see it hurting her.
Yeah.
It is one of those things I do pay attention to that. Because yeah, it's like you point out, and like you both brought out, 30 seconds of a clip, highly edited, it's what other people see.
Right.
Nobody sees the background stuff.
Right.
And yeah, sometimes it's like I do see her smiling and like, hey, this is what's going on, and I just know that in the background there's other things going on that smile is pasted on, and I hope that and it is something that I think a lot of influencers realize, keep it real amongst yourselves. Always have that core group of friends that they know you,
Right.
they can call you, because the average person online is not going to know who you are. They just see the clip and they're like, oh, they're doing great.
They don't
Right.
see the,
You know.
like, when you're about to make a clip and you just clean that little section where
Oh.
the camera angle's going to be. You're just like looking like,
Yeah.
push that over here.
Yeah.
They don't see the mess around
Yeah,
your
they
life.
don't see it. So,
And that takes a toll on you personally, because there's been plenty of times where I've made videos and I'm like, I'm fake as fuck. Like, I'm sitting here smiling, love yourself, be good, be great. And I'm like, I don't feel this way at all.
Yeah.
and it's one of those things. It's like, on the one hand, you can see how that can help people be motivated. Say that, hey, he's doing good, I can do good too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you also have to have that real side to yourself, and that's why it's so important. You do have real friends.
Yeah.
Not Facebook friends, real friends. Not Instagram friends, real friends who
Right.
you can go to and say, hey, I'm having a bad day. I know
Right.
you saw the smile in the post. I'm having a bad day.
No.
Okay, can we talk? Can we just sit there? Sometimes,
real.
Yeah, be real.
Yeah.
Be real.
I try to do that on mine sometimes.
Yeah.
Not sometimes. I do. That's why my channel, do I call it a channel? My
This?
page,
Your page.
my TikTok,
Your
my
TikTok,
account,
Your TikTok
my
page.
whatever.
So
My
many
Whatever.
different
Yeah, your
phrases for it.
TikTok.
my TikTok, I show the downs as well. I'm like, look, y'all, I've been eating this food for a week and
Yeah.
I've lost no weight. Or my uncle just died and I fucking binged and I put on 7 pounds in a couple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I tell that.
And that can be important too, because that can help people realize, hey, when my life's going crazy,
Yeah.
You can still climb back out and keep going. It's not the end of the world.
No, I
So,
try to be as relatable as possible
Yeah.
because that's real.
I know for me as a female, like I try to see if how many times I can post where I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm all sweaty or whatever because it's like
Oh, that's called OnlyFans. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
we'll
good
talk
job, by
about
the way.
that one. Yeah, I'm waiting for your payment, by the way.
No. I pay for the year. It's fine.
You got the year
Yeah,
subscription.
I did the yearly.
But that is something else that's difficult as a female is because there's women out there that it's like, I know I could get so many more followers and so many more likes if I posted pictures of
You shake your ass a little.
if I shake it or if I post like pictures that I got special for my husband or something like that. I know I could get a ton of pictures, but it's just like what am I valuing myself as?
Is that tempting?
It is. It's so tempting.
How would you feel?
It's similar thing. It is tempting because I know how much money these girls sometimes make. I mean, it's that's on
It's
the
like-
internet. They talk about that too, where it's like, hey,
Even just for fucking feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
They don't even
It's-
show their face.
I'm like, maybe I'll start a feed pictures. Just don't tell me what you did with the pictures.
But it's his feet and there's hair.
Hey, nowadays you never know what people are into. Oh, I like the hairy
But
feet.
there's
Really?
still a toe ring
I'm
on it
gonna
for some
braid
reason.
it.
Ankle bracelet.
Those look like hobbit feet. No.
You know, like the old cartoons where it shows like they're like the cartoon characters are going crazy because it shows like the lady, like her body's all hot and all of a sudden it comes off and her face is like a witch's face.
Uh-uh.
It was like,
We watch
The-
different cartoons.
no,
The
it's like
Butterface
Looney
cartoon,
Tunes,
yeah.
Looney Tunes,
Looney
like
Tunes will do
Bugs
sometimes,
Bunny
yeah.
or whatever. Like, you should look it up.
They'll have a
Anyways.
butterface.
But
Everything's nice
it's the
about her
Right,
opposite.
butterface.
People are
summer
going
teeth,
to
you know what
like they're
summer
looking
teeth
at
are?
me and all of a
I
sudden
haven't
they're
heard
like,
that one.
it's his feet. It's like, that's her feet.
Summer teeth go this way. Summer teeth go that way. No, for real. Like, okay, it's not gonna happen. It's not on the table.
Yeah.
But do you think in a different world is that something you could get behind if it was paying your bills and you guys were living a different life?
Totally.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
totally.
So what are we doing
don't
here?
like-
Let's turn this off and start them back on.
No. Different music comes
Yeah.
on.
But I only get the close
Brown
shot
chicken, brown
for some
cow. No.
reason. No, seriously. I've had people ask me to start an OnlyFans.
Really?
Straight up. And I went down this weird rabbit hole where I was just like, fat guy OnlyFans, and that's a weird thing to Google, right? But it produced results. And I was like, that's all they're doing. Because these guys aren't
Is
showing
it the
much.
BBFM?
I don't-
Big, beautiful, fat men.
Big. Yeah. No, it was just them in like black and white pictures with like a cupcake on their stomach or something.
Yeah.
And these are like the number one models out there. And I'm like, I did that last week just because I'm sad. Like,
You're like looking through your security feed.
yeah, I'm like, that's easy. Oh, at work?
Security feed.
That's
so wrong,
fucked
dude.
up, man. I don't just live
I
my
love you,
life
babe.
that way.
Oh.
You said that was me last week, so you don't.
I was kidding.
Well,
You just said some hurtful shit.
that's what friends are
Thanks.
for.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Fuck, man. Are we
Amy's
done
getting
yet?
canceled
I'm ready
today.
to be done. Yeah, they're coming after you. They're-
Well, you just ruined.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Bye.
You're like, don't worry, she's getting her tonsils out next week. She won't
Yeah.
be talking.
Oh,
for
is
a
that
while.
what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
So and her nose fixed. So if
Yeah,
she looks
rhino.
like she's been beaten, she hasn't been. I promise.
Oh.
I'm getting my nose broke and my tonsils out next week.
So your face is going to be all like purple and bruised, huh?
Probably.
Don't they do that with a hammer?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't want to
dude.
know.
They get in there with a mallet and a hammer and they smack, and you're awake.
Oh, no, I'm going to be knocked out.
Really?
Literally. Come
Take a
here.
battery.
I thought you were awake for that, just numbed up.
No, because
I think the
I'm
tonsil
getting my
thing's really gonna
tonsils
keep
out
you
too.
awake.
So I am getting like knocked out completely.
Why do you have to get your tonsils removed?
They so I went to the doctors because I have like a growth on my throat, and I was like, I need this looked at. And he's like, yeah, go to a specialist. He looks and he's like, you have 2. And so the specialist is like, your tonsils are really bad. I'm like, yeah, I know. And he's like, why have you never got them removed? And he's like, I'm like, well, I tried years ago, and the other doctor was like, no, you can't handle the pain. And
He was also a grumpy doctor, too.
Yeah. He refused to let me get my tonsils out. And I've had multiple doctors say my tonsils look like chewed up pieces of gum. Like, they're engorged, they're super swollen, and now that there's, like, nodules on them, they're like, take them out.
So just, like, always a sore throat, or?
Always a sore throat, and, like, when I swallow, I can feel my tonsils on the back of my throat.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
She asked me once if that was normal. I'm like,
this
I
is
never
so
feel
weird.
my tonsils.
I'm not going to feel my
No.
tonsils when I swallow. And he's like, you're not supposed to. I'm like, oh.
Pull that mic in a little bit.
Come here, Mike.
And tilt it to... But, hey, relax. Take it easy.
I don't know. Am I going to get germs? Am I going to get something from your friend?
I sprayed them.
Okay.
Jeez. Fuck, man.
Well, your friend was going to town on this.
Oh, you should have seen what he did afterwards. Yeah.
You stuck it where? No.
Yeah. No. Sideways. Like, it was crazy. Got
Nanny
him.
Sammy.
Got him.
You didn't
That
see
meant
the
what it is.
episode, babe. Like, he was just like constantly every 5 minutes, just like hitting the table and then
Kinda like-
getting a rock and playing with
Yeah.
it.
And he's a cop. He's the one we got to trust to take care of us.
We do love him though.
Shout out Lewis, man.
Lewis, you're great. Love to meet you in person sometime.
So we talked about you a little bit on our last episode. You guys met
I saw
at
that, yeah.
a camp.
Not
a camp.
Closer to, think of it as a religious school.
I'm sorry.
This is real. Hey, man.
This one time at band camp. No, kidding. No, it was
finish it. What happened?
It was a religious school.
No, what
So-
happened at
Bible
band
school.
camp?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never went.
Yeah. So that's where you guys met.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a religious school for helping
Bible
us
school.
in our Bible school and helping us do better in our preaching work.
Right.
essentially.
Where'd you
Yeah.
grow up at?
Most of it here in Arizona. I was born in Washington State and moved down here the month
He grew up in
before I
Arizona.
turned 2. So essentially,
So you've just this
yeah,
is where you've
41
been.
years
Yeah.
lived here. So
Okay.
do the math.
And so you guys after band camp, how long went? How after the flu incidents? How long was that time span before you guys saw each other again?
About
4
4
years. About 4
yeah.
years.
And you didn't recognize her?
No, she had changed.
What do you mean?
Well, when she was 17, she was
when I first
Brace-
met him,
very thin, long hair. I mean, very thin. I'm not talking about,
coming out of an eating
Yeah.
Got rid of the
disorder.
back brace, headgear's gone, like
kind of essentially change over.
new wig. Like,
And she had long brown hair that was almost down to her knees. I mean, it was long brown hair. And she
Yeah.
was, like I said, she was, and I think part of it too was I had just broken up with another girl I thought I was going to spend my life with.
yeah.
And so
So I
I was
was
kind of
just-
like, I was just there for the spiritual aspect. I wasn't looking anywhere else.
Yeah.
And so I didn't pay attention to any of the girls there. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later, here comes this beautiful woman with short blonde hair going, "Hi, Tayr, remember me?" And I go, "I sure hope I do. Please tell me something I can know. Please."
My cherry pie. Yeah.
What was funny? No.
I was-
4 days later, he comes to my house because I was living with my
was
mom.
dark.
Whoa.
And my friend Felicia and Tiffany were there, and he still didn't recognize which one was me
Now-
after
now,
that.
Oh,
again,
my
her-
man.
Now, her friend
He's like,
Tiffany.
man.
which one do I
now
want?
her friend Tiffany was very similar looking to her,
Okay.
and it was kind of a darkened room.
Yeah.
Because the lights were low. Not because her mom just didn't like bright lights, which
Yeah,
I
mine-
understand.
Turn
I'm
the
not-
lights off and play Who's in My Mouth, huh? Like,
Okay, no.
I
wait,
was so
this is a
embarrassed.
religious thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
But anyway,
so-
so they're there next to each other, similar clothing, similar looks, and everything. And I'm starting going, now,
We
which
did
one
have the
was
same
her?
hairstyle.
And then and the only way it wasn't until she approached me with a snake in her hand that I realized that
That she was Satan. Got you. That you were being
that
tested.
that
I
was
was so
that was
embarrassed.
her. So it's like when they walked out together, I was kind of like, which one is which again? And then she's like, "Oh, and here's my snake," and I'm like, "Okay, that one's Amy."
Yeah, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, look, this is my pet snake. And I go, and I'm like showing him, and it pooped on me. I was just like, I'm going to die.
Yeah,
Amy,
snake poop.
Tilt
No.
that mic to you.
I did.
No.
Like,
There you go. Come on.
Like you're on stage.
I'm never adjusting the mic on stage.
Come on. How'd you feel about her doing her show?
My competition.
Her competition.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I know she has a lot of body issues. I mean, we all know we know each other psychologically. I have my own body issues as well. And so I thought it was great for her because it was giving her a boost of confidence, getting her to love her own skin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, I mean, she is a beautiful woman,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't always fully see that and appreciate that. And then I like to think I've helped her, and I think that
Yeah,
also
he
helped her
has.
too, where she realizes, hey, you know, especially because what she did fitness, which is I am
A
woman, hear me
figure.
roar.
Right.
Not, hey, look at my booty, I can shake
Right.
it. Like, I am woman, hear me roar,
Right.
boom. And I think that probably did a lot for her because, you know, she realizes, as she's admitted to it, hey, I am
feel
a
pretty.
beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you are.
Yeah.
So,
Did you say you have body issues?
yes.
What?
Well, what kind of size of my body do you think it is?
What do you mean?
Do I look like a big dude? I mean, I'm not talking fat. I mean, like heavily muscles.
I mean, you look like the average guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of myself as a stick figure.
Really?
Yeah.
He grew up like he was the skinny.
I was
like, little
96
kid.
pounds
Oh.
graduating high
graduated.
school.
90. That's an ass cheek, man. 96 pounds?
Yes.
How tall are you?
At the time, I was 5'9". I gained an inch. I'm now about 5'10".
Oh, so you were little.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It was
we-
a good thing I knew how to throw a punch.
Yeah. And-
People learn not to mess with me.
So that messed with you mentally? You still
Yes.
feel like that little 96-pound kid?
Yeah, I still do.
Really?
Yes.
How do you get out of that?
I know, right? I'm always just kind of like, you're not skinny. Like you
Yeah.
have some muscle on you. I mean, you work at UPS. You're picking up boxes all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I guess it's one of those things. Is like I just learned that looks aren't everything, and that I know what I can do. I know I'm a capable dude. That I mean, like she pointed out, I work for UPS. I lift heavy things all day. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, she's watched me throw around 120, 130 pound car parts. You know, from the dock
Those
sitting
things
right
are
here
heavy.
up to
Yeah.
the dock up at the top, and just whoop,
Right.
boom, and she's like, I can't even push that thing, and I'm
No.
like.
It
You know,
is
This
kind
is
of
what
funny.
you do.
This is what I do, it's just boom,
Damn.
But yeah, it's weird. It's like I don't think I fully realized just where I was at until I don't mean to be too exposure, but I was getting out of the shower, and you know how sometimes you got the
Steam.
The curtain?
the steam, yeah, the
Oh, the
water vapor
the
condensation on the mirror, but it only cut right here,
Yeah.
and what was seen down below was a pretty buff dude. I'm thinking that's, and then as soon as I put my head down, yeah, it went to skinny.
You're like, do I like this?
I'm
Hey,
like,
you.
that's actually a pretty good looking dude. Okay, that's me.
Your towel's like that. It's like, damn.
Not quite
son.
like that. It was more of like, that's impressive,
It
and
was
rather
like
than
that. Yeah. No, that's crazy. I wouldn't think of that, because if I woke up tomorrow and looked like you, I'd be like, oh shit, like now I can start living life. But that
Yeah, when we got married, I was like,
I was
like in my
130,
160s. He was like 128 pounds, and we were for the longest time. We're both seeing who could get to 140 the quickest. If I could
Yeah.
lose to get to 140 pounds, and if he could gain to 140 pounds.
you work out too, other than working.
I did for a little bit, but I've never been much for working out.
It's not your
so,
thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
I've done it a few times in high school, so I know all the moves and things
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, it was funny because I have a good friend who if he wanted to, he probably could have gone NFL. He was that good of a football player, but I think he was a little too soft. He's a nice guy. He's a very, very nice guy. But
Yeah.
I think he got up to college, and he couldn't handle it mentally. And he went home.
Oh.
So he's like, I can't. He loves his family. He doesn't want to leave them. But he taught me how to lift weights.
Yeah.
And it was because like I remember joining the lifting weights in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so, here I was, a skinny little twerp of like, probably 80 pounds of then. I'm trying to
You
lift,
talking like strength and conditioning classes?
strength and
Okay.
conditioning, lifting weights and all that good fun stuff. And he says, hey, Tara, I'll help you out. I said, okay. I mean, because I would always help out him
Yeah.
with all his homework.
Okay.
because he was like, wouldn't get it. And I'm like, here, man, let me show you. And I'd sit there and I wouldn't give him the answers.
Yeah.
I would help him explain it. He's like, thank you. This is because he wouldn't get it from the teachers.
Oh.
And once I explained something to him,
He'd
not
get
just
it.
give him the answers, explain something to him. He's like, oh, now I get it. So I think it was one of the things. It was one of those irony turn of plays.
Yeah.
He helped you out.
He helped me out. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
need to hold your glasses?
Yeah. Here.
No.
No.
Oh, see, that's cool. You look like Burt Reynolds as soon as you put those on, dude.
So he helped me out a lot in knowing how to lift properly and things like that. But there's still a block in my head where I feel very uncomfortable lifting because I still think of myself as a skinny kid.
Do you ever want to try to like get into that?
Oh, I
life?
do.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why I love the fact that she enjoys it.
Yeah.
She went to
He
learn
always
how to be a
says when
physical
he
trainer.
Retires, he's like, "You're
Yeah.
gonna be my personal trainer."
When I retire, I'm gonna need to keep keep the pounds off.
Are you
so-
shredded under that?
No,
Oh,
I do have a
I'm
little
like,
bit of a gut.
I'm shredded. I'm shredded cheese, man. I'm in there, baby.
No, I'm almost at keg level. So
Oh, okay. Well, damn, I'm a full bar, bro. Like I'm a fucking establishment, man. This is your episode.
I know. I'm just listening to you talk. Good job.
You're not supposed to. You're the host. Go. Give us questions. Rapid fire. Boom.
That's
Go. Go.
I'm thinking, God, you're so overwhelming sometimes. Now I know how I am when I come up to you at the gym.
Go.
Just do it. Okay. So what made you want to start a YouTube channel, like a podcast?
Okay. So when I was 12 years old, I was listening to like Howard Stern and those guys, and I was like, these guys are just sitting around getting paid to bullshit, and they're having strippers on and midgets and homeless guys.
You told me
and-
last time I could not. Last night, not last night.
Hey, dude. Hey, bro. It wasn't
I know,
me,
I know.
dude.
This is another Garrett. No,
Yeah.
no, you told me a couple.
Don't do that one.
When I was on the show, not to say midget. So hosting, you say you can't say that, so don't say midget.
Oh, sorry, little people. You're right. I was like, where's she fucking going with this? What can't I say? Oh, here we go.
Let's
No,
not say it. But yeah, Howard
Height-
Stern had
height
all of
and
it.
Challenged or challenged height-wise or
yeah, vertically challenged.
vertically
Vertically
challenged. Thank you.
Vertically challenged.
I don't speak well.
No, that's
You're like, that's obvious.
yeah. Who learned you to spoke?
I speak like
Um,
Biden. Anyway,
Yeah. Just a word salad, dude. Just blah, 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 blah.
yes, that's why I don't do this for a living.
You did that pretty good. No, I love talking to people. I love meeting people. I can talk to a rich man, a poor man, a gangster, a saint. Like I can talk to whoever. I've never met you. And
No.
we're talking just fine because I just love people, right? And I'm like, this guy's sitting around talking at a table with his close people, and they're getting paid for this. Like I would love to do that, but I just felt like it didn't belong to me. And my uncle, he was kind of starting to do YouTube stuff, and it never really even went anywhere. He was working on it, and for a long time, everything that he liked to do, I wanted to do as well. And he would always call me like a biter, So I specifically was like, now I'm not going to do YouTube on this one. But he's since passed, and I just with the TikTok stuff, and I started gaining more confidence to do this kind of stuff. And so I just went all in.
So did you start with TikTok first, or and then you decided, oh, I'm getting a following?
I already had 100,000 people on my TikTok before I even started
Oh, okay.
this. Yeah.
So you started the podcast when you started working out with Kyle, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
I had it before then.
Then oh, okay.
Yeah. I was
wasn't sure.
by the time he came on, I was probably already 20, 25 episodes in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we put one out every week or whatever. But when he got on and when Jesse came on, that's when I really started to get serious about it.
Oh, okay.
And so that I had just had this room built, put in the AC, put in the outlets, all the equipment. I'm just in this room alone with equipment and building and pricing. I'm already in 20 grand.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So like I have to do this now.
Yeah.
Because if I decided to quit, this room would be the bane of my existence. Like
Yeah.
I'd have to burn it down.
Yeah, because you'd be like, I put all this money into this.
Right.
Constant reminder.
And there's been a lot of ups and downs. Everybody, if you have a cell phone, you can have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's so saturated right now. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody feels like they got something to say, and they do.
Yeah.
But
I like the way you put that.
Yeah, they do. Well, that's what Sonder means. Sonder means everybody that you come in contact with has a life just as unique as your own. Goals, dreams, and aspirations, but you'd never know until you sit and talk with them. So that's what I want to do. I just want to. It's not an interview. I just want to come and shoot the shit, and I just want to talk and play. That's I want to do life with you guys. You know what I mean? And but it is so hard to keep going, especially when you're putting in that kind of money, time, effort, tears, and you're not seeing the numbers or the results that you wish that you were seeing. It's very easy to quit.
Yeah. That's part of me. Like, I would love to just start a YouTube channel, but then at the same time, I'm like, well, why? Like,
But why
There has to
not?
be why.
yeah, I know. It's just kind of like, for me, would I be consistent with it? Would people even watch it? Like, why would they even want to watch what I have to put out? I don't even know what, like, my workouts, like,
I'd tell you
mom
what,
life.
with the way that the world has gone since COVID and all that stuff, and everybody being shut in the house now, people are looking for real now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about the trends and I guess, of course, trends are always going to be around.
Yeah.
But not sitcoms, reality TV has existed for forever. People love that. And there's people out there that want to just see other people live their lives too and get different opinions, whether they agree with them or not. A lot of people don't like my stuff, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
So if 50 people like it and 50 people don't, 100 people watched it.
Yeah. True.
You know, that's what Jesse said. And I've been doing this for over a year now. And now I've gotten in the mindset where I don't notice the cameras. I don't notice the mics. I can just talk. I can just have a good time. So I'm established there. And now it's time to start promoting and getting everything out. But that took over a year.
Yeah.
This is episode 65. And now I'm barely just starting to promote. I'll tell you what. Yesterday I went to Chipotle for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady messed up my order. I just had my little steak bowl, and she charged me $35, and I had already paid for it. And I was like, wait, hold on, I only had one
steak bowl.
She paid for the guy next to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh man, all right. She's like, well, do you want a refund? I was like, you know what? Hey, dude, I just got your dinner. Like, you're on me. It's all good. Oh, cool. Thank you for real, this and that. And he's like, hey, you got a Apple Pay or you got this and that? And I was like, no, dude, but you can subscribe to my channel. Like, now I have enough confidence to start doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to, like, you want to start a YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You have to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, I know it's a lot of work.
A lot.
Do I have the mental capacity to stay focused on putting that work in?
And it, something like this, and this is just low end on the high end, something's always breaking down. You always need something more. And then if you don't have somebody to edit, like I taught myself how to edit. I'm on countless hours.
Yeah.
I've taught myself. I'm self-taught on all of this. But that's what YouTube was for. So people go to YouTube for knowledge and experience. You have a full life that you've lived.
Yeah.
You have knowledge and experience. Put that out there. You matter. Everybody matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a YouTube channel to matter. But if you want to have one, you should. Just know that it's going to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of work. And if you can surround yourself with the right kind of people that are going to support you and help you, you're golden. Because this doesn't feel like work to me anymore. I love to do it.
Yeah, it's like
This is my baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had multiple co-hosts come and go. And so I got a buddy I went to high school with, and he started a podcast before I did. And he had an episode out every week. Well, he's only got 7 episodes, and that last time he shot one was a year and a half ago.
Wow.
But he started with a core of buddies, and everybody.
Yeah,
Drifted.
dissipated.
Because nobody will ever be into the Sonder experience as much as I am.
Yeah, because once it's something you wanted to do,
Right.
like just kind of like fitness journeys and stuff like that. Once it has to be your goal, because
Right.
like if you're doing it, if I was losing weight because I wanted to make my husband happy, it's not going to happen.
No.
You know, because even if I did and he's not satisfied, thankfully that's never been the case with us, I would never be happy.
Yeah.
But when you're doing something like you have this show because you wanted to do this.
Right. And if anybody put more effort into this show than I did, I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That can't be. Nobody can
Yeah.
love my baby more than I do.
So do you ever go back and watch your uncle's YouTube? His
Just to
podcast or-
reminisce,
Yeah.
his was never what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
He had stuff on there. Like, he was a big guy, so he's got one of him ripping a soda can in half.
Oh, okay.
And that's the kind of stuff I miss about him because I was there when he did it. You know, and so I just go to reminisce or whatever. But yeah, he didn't even really have an idea of where he wanted this to go.
Yeah.
He just knew that he wanted to be an entertainer.
Oh, okay.
That's what my family is. We're all a bunch of weirdo entrepreneurs. We want to work for ourselves. We don't want to have bosses.
I swear we have to be related somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure we are.
We
Like,
probably are.
yeah, and I don't know. This has to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm at
Yeah.
that point now with this show and with social media and all that stuff. Like, it's do or die for me at this point because I've fucked up so many other things that
Yeah.
I've never given my heart and soul to something like this before.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about competing now. Like,
Yeah.
this has to work. Like,
Right.
I put so much time, energy, effort into training and diet and, you know, up to the show. Like, okay. And now that I've done one, now I'm like, okay, I got to do this every year because that's my baby, is
Right.
to be able to see how far I can push my body, you
Well,
know,
if you
and
can-
that's where I want to do like a YouTube channel, like
Yeah.
showing like not sitting down necessarily like a podcast, but like a vlogging style of like, hey, you know, this is my journey.
Yeah.
So does this mean I need to learn how to work the cameras?
Sure.
It helps, man.
Yeah,
It helps.
I can be her. Video,
You can be my tech guy.
Yeah, tech guy.
It
I used to
really
be a
helps.
Tech guy, yes.
Yes, you can be my tech guy.
Yeah.
And I'll just
There you
be-
go. You got someone built in.
Yeah.
You and
It takes
Zach.
that kind of
Yeah.
support. It really does.
Mhm.
It really does. And you're asking a lot of him to do that
Yeah.
because it just is
Yeah.
for some reason. It just
And I know on my end, it's like I would have fun with that because like I
Yeah.
love this woman. I mean,
right.
I have no problem putting her on a pedestal. So I
Right.
have no problem filming her, finding the right shot angles.
He
and
has no
things
problem
like
filming me.
that.
I know he showed me.
No, I have
Oh,
no
you
problem
got the
filming her.
video?
He sent me the link.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
You weren't supposed to tell her. Anyway.
Oh, sorry. So this is what's on next. No, I'm just-
The link below.
But,
No.
But yeah, so yeah, that is one thing that I think is important is having a good support crew.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you don't have the support, it doesn't matter how much you love the thing. At some point, you're gonna peter out because there's only so much you can give.
but at the same time, that she's decided to make that change for her.
Yes.
Mhm.
Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, and you don't need to if you don't want to. So how does it feel? Because we were talking about it before, how like we're on our fitness deal and it's fucked up for us. We don't take it personally, but it's just hard when you wake up in the morning and there's McDonald's bags.
Literally
You know what I mean?
this morning.
Yeah, guess who brought that? It wasn't me.
My daughter comes home.
Wasn't me.
She insists she didn't get high last night. It's
Mm.
like she comes home with a 40-piece chicken nuggets meal. And she's like, me and my boyfriend, we didn't realize how much food we ordered. And she texts me. She's like, I'm coming. Don't wait up for me.
Yeah.
I'm not in the best brain space right now. And I'm like, you're so high. She comes home and just like
She's
throws.
like, can I get 20 orders of 2-piece nuggets?
And so then she goes and like throws it on my son like at 3 a.m. She's like, I got you some chicken nuggets, Zach. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Needless to say, he was not in the mood for chicken nuggets
No.
this morning. He's
Yeah.
like,
And so this morning we're all sitting there eating chicken nuggets.
You too?
Yeah, I did.
What are you
It-
doing?
I know.
What are you doing?
This is my reasoning.
It's
starting,
bullshit, but go ahead.
no, starting Tuesday, I'm going on a liquid diet. I can't have any solid foods for a while. So I'm
Oh.
like, I'm going to have my pizza and my chicken nuggets and I'm going to drink
You're not
because
supposed to have pizza. I thought that was Chris's like number one. I'm telling.
I'm
telling.
Chris, if you're watching,
Hi, Chris.
like, no, I don't give a care. I'm going on a liquid diet soon.
I don't give a care.
I don't care. I'm going to eat my pizza. I'm going to drink.
I don't give a care.
Sometimes you have to have that mentality, you know?
Just the verbiage. I think my kid would say something. I don't give a shoot.
Whatever.
Gosh darn it.
Yeah. No, and so I think where I was going with that is, do you? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
That's
if
okay.
that happens, do you feel any type of way about it? Guilty?
I do
or-
feel a little guilty because I do want to support her, you
Yeah.
know, and on my end, I generally try to kind of make sure that stuff's put out quickly and I, devour it quickly, and I do most of the time try to just say, hey, whatever you make, I'll eat. I mean, I can eat anything.
Sure.
I'm just, I'm not super picky, so, but I do know that, I'm not trying to be jerk, but every so often I'm like, I'm craving Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll order up Chick-fil-A, and and I have an addiction to Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
My man. My man. Do you? I find myself, I don't know if you can relate, but when I'm on my health journey or whatever, or I'm on a super kick, I start trying to push it on to everybody else too.
Am I that way?
I don't think so.
When I went vegan for a while there, of course, it was more of I just wasn't cooking.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
like vegan for 3 months.
She's learned long ago that if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So she can sit there and say whatever she wants, and I'm like, and your point is what?
Yeah.
He doesn't trust me with food.
Because I would like find myself getting judgy, like, but in a weird way, almost like out of fear. Because I'm like, I'm seeing you eat this shit. So if
Yeah.
I don't dig at it, I'm gonna end up eating it too.
For me, I find myself getting jealous of him because
jealous.
I know his journey is different than mine.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
wanting to gain weight. He's wanting to gain muscle, and I'm
Right.
just like sitting there, like as he's eating a
I've reached-
pizza,
I've reached the weight
supporting
level, and now I'm more muscle.
supporting his goals, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, why do my goals have to taste so gross?
I don't mind it.
I know, but after a
And you're a
while,
good cook. You know how to make things taste
I
good.
do. Thankfully,
And she can
I
do wonders with chicken.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but
The
still
fish is still needs some
sometimes.
work, but
Literally
I think
yesterday.
that whitefish is just, and everybody I've talked to is like, it's one thing to have whitefish occasionally, but everybody I've talked to who's been through that journey like her, when you're at that point where like whitefish every meal,
Right.
they're like, you want to throw it against the wall.
Yeah.
They can do chicken, they can do turkey 5, 6, 7, 8 days out of the week. And,
I'll do it out of
and-
the year. You're right. I'll do it
now
out of the year.
throughout the year, they
Totally.
said there's something about whitefish that yes, it helps them shred.
Yeah.
You want to throw it against the wall,
I
Yeah.
still can't eat
blow
fish.
it up, and and they go on and on and their
And go to
lineage gets
crumble
pretty rough.
cookie and just
Yes.
cry
Yeah.
into a cookie.
Yesterday, I
So I think
packed-
that's where I think whitefish is no hope for.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
suck it up.
Yeah.
yesterday I packed like a little tuna salad kit, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, so it was in the pantry. I'm like, I'll just eat this when I'm out and about. And I was like, there's a homeless person. I drove up to him and gave it to him.
She's so
The
nice.
guy's like, thank you so much. And I was just like,
He was
you eat
probably
the fish.
pissed when you drove away. He's like, I'd rather starve.
He's like, really, tuna? I gave him tuna and a granola bar. He's just like,
Oh, you don't love the homeless then?
I do. Then I went.
She's like, I ain't giving you cash. Here's food if you're really hungry.
Yeah.
I had one time this homeless person. I was at a Walmart, and I had my kids with me, and my son is on my hip. My daughter's like 3, and he comes up to me. He's like, "I'm hungry. Can you?" And I was just like, I dug in my diaper bag, and I gave him a granola bar, and he grabbed me by the arm, and he's like, "What are you doing? This is not good enough." I was just like started screaming, and I ran into the store, and I was like, "There's a crazy guy." And they're like, "Thank you. We needed, they're like,
Give it an
he's
excuse to get
been
rid of him.
walking around."
Yeah.
But they didn't have nobody complained, so they couldn't just like tell him to get off their parking lot. But that scared me so bad. I was like, if you can't accept a granola bar, then you really aren't hungry. You just want
I remember this one time, me and my grandmother, we went to the store, like a Fry's or a Stater Brothers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we walked in, this dude was like, "Can I have some cash?" My gran was like, "We don't have anything, but we'll pull some money out and we'll meet you on the way out." We did our shopping and we were there for like an hour because we were shopping for a party. And when we came out, we had forgot to get this dude cash. So he stopped us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Do you guys have my money?" And I looked at him and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
She said that she was gonna, you said, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm so sorry. I'll go to the truck and see if I have any cash. All I have is card on me." He goes, "Oh, that's all right." Pulled out one of those little white squares and plugged it into his phone and was like, "I have this."
The nerve of some
I
people.
grabbed that fucking thing. I threw it on the ground and we went home. I was like, this is a scam.
Yeah.
People out here scamming like that. You pull out a square and be like, "I take card." Like homeless are taking cash and credit now?
Oh, seriously.
And a nice cell phone, I'm sure.
That's crazy. Another time, we were at a KFC drive-thru, and this guy stopped us, and he was like, "I'm really hungry. Can I have some food?" And she was like, "Oh, I'll buy you number 5 or whatever fuck." And he's like, "No, I could really just use the cash." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So she gave him a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "I was looking more for like a 10. And I was like, "Oh, I got that. Here, give me the 5. And I took the money from him, and I was like, "All right, drive off. We're going to go to a different KFC."
Yeah. You're like,
Can you imagine that?
the audacity of some people.
Dude.
It's like beggars can't be choosers.
No. I can't even. How hard of a job is it to be homeless, though? Like, I'm sure you kind of, after a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
Is it dignity?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm looking for? That's the right word, right?
Dignity.
I'm sure you just throw it away and you're just willing to do that kind of stuff because they're either going to say no
Yeah.
or you're going to pressure somebody into giving it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more often than not, you can pressure people into, especially if they're alone, especially if they're women.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I remember when it was before we were married. Anyways, I lived like on Bethany and 67th Avenue, and this woman comes up to me. She was one of my neighbors. She was tweaking. She's like, "Do you have money?" And I go and I grab some coins because I had a little coin thing in my car. And I grab it and I hand it to her. And she grabbed me by my wrist. And she's like, "I want more money." I was just like, we both live in Section 8 housing. Like, we're in the projects. This is
Like,
all I
wow.
got. I hope they don't see this amount because they'll increase the rent.
Yeah,
They'll be
no.
like counting the pennies.
Mm-mm.
You had 10 pennies. Your rent's going up.
I've been there, man. Though I've been broke. We've been broke.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone to the church for food boxes. Like
Yeah.
You could. I mean, a couple more nights without. I can see how easy it is to start doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you're worried about lights going out and you got little ones in the house, it ain't no thing to be like, "Give me some money." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My dad used to tell me all the time that he used to steal food, go to a donut shop or whatever and order a box and snatch and grab and just go. But he was homeless. Like he was almost on the streets for like 3 years at that point. He didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
He didn't give a damn. He'd suck your toes for a 50 cent. Like, no, for real, it got bad. And I hope I'm never in that position.
I remember when we were really little because we were so poor and we had to get to, where was it? Ogden, Utah. We lived in Midvale, Utah. So it was about an hour's drive. And my mom's like, "I don't have any money to even get fuel for the car."
Yeah.
And we went and we had popcorn kernels and Jell-O packets. And we made popcorn balls. And we sold them. We stood on the side of the street selling them, and we got just enough money to make it to Ogden, Utah. I don't remember all the details because I was little, but I remember that was like so fun as a little kid to stand on the side of the road and selling things. So it's like when I see people on the side of the road and they're trying to sell you something, you know, like if it's just sandwiches or burritos, I have respect for them because you never know, like, you know, they're not just sitting there saying, "Give me your money." Right. They're like, "Okay, I spent what little I had to do this. You know, can we make a trade here?"
Remember one time it was like 3 a.m. and I was heading to work and I went to go get gas. And I saw this pile of bags sitting on the corner of the parking lot. And I drove by it, and then I realized there was a little girl, probably about 4 years old, sitting in this middle of these bags, and the mom and dad were standing there too. And I just broke. I broke because I realized this was their stuff. These were their clothes. These were their pillows. These were their blankets, and they're just standing there. And they had just gotten kicked out. They were staying at the guy's friend's house. And they had an argument, and they had a fight or whatever. And I don't know who to believe. You know, who knows what really happened? But I know that little girl who was about 4 years old was sitting there, and I was like, "This isn't her fault.
Yeah.
This is not fair. She doesn't deserve this." So I reached in my wallet, and I was gonna give him a couple bucks. Well, I realized that I had just gotten paid, and I had cash. I ended up giving him like $250.
Wow.
Straight up, and I was like, "You guys need to go get a hotel right now." And I'd worked in hotels at the time, so I got them a code, and their room was only like $20.
Wow.
So I was like, "You guys need to get yourself a hotel room, get it for a couple nights, figure out what's going on. I know this place is hiring, this place is hiring. I know they got managers there. I'll put in a word. You do this." Like, I was in tears, and I was like, "Can I just hold you guys and pray for you? And I know this seems so weird, and I'm this big old dude getting out at 3 a.m, you know, but I'm broken. I'm seeing that little girl, and I'm broken because I'm like, I know that. I know what that feels like.
Yeah, that scared feeling.
And that kind of tore me up a little bit. But so I do have a heart, but I'm a skeptic as well.
Yeah.
I don't believe people's bullshit stories.
Remember that girl that was always selling water? She was pregnant. Did you ever see her? She was always selling water.
At the gym?
At the gym, like right off the freeway. I'm always wondering, like, what happened to her?
Yes. Like if you were going west?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know.
I know. I've just like always feel like, because I know she was pregnant and stuff like that.
But her dude was on the opposite corner.
He was?
Yeah.
Well, I never gave her money. I never
Which is
bought
okay.
water. But I was just like, I wonder what happened. I hope like the baby's okay. That's like what you're saying is the kid, like the
Well,
mom.
maybe they got enough to get through, and the dude found a job because
Could have.
Yeah.
And now they're
Is
doing
it
fine.
okay? Because I know I adjusted myself.
Tilt it up just a little bit.
Just up. Oop.
There you go. Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah, Oh, this is your episode. Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, you're
Sorry.
fine. What were you going to say,
I was
Garrett?
going to say,
Continue.
so let me tell you something that happened to me just today. And this is kind of a long story, so I apologize, but you guys can give me your input. I don't know if you know anything about me, but back in the day,
I know some what she's told me.
I was a drug dealer, alcoholic, gang member. I was a bad guy. Okay, turned my life around.
Respect that.
Thank you.
Good job.
But I still know that guy.
Yeah.
And that guy protected me and got me, like, that guy helped me survive for a lot of years. And today, I have a friend, and we have this mutual friend who was going to do me dirty, the mutual friend. And it was going to affect my family. And I instantly snapped into that, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get you before you get me. And I told my friend that I was going to do that. And he was pissed off as well. And he wasn't necessarily like, yeah, you should. But he was more like, yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't really get a stamp of approval, but didn't get any pushback on it either.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to fully take advantage. I'm going to fuck this dude over. Because it's either that or like if I could get to him, I would. And I'd put hands on him.
Yeah.
Okay. I did what I said I was going to do for about 3 weeks. And it started to affect my good friend. Not the acquaintance, but the good friend. To the point where it was starting to affect him. And he was like, you need to stop doing that. And I was stealing.
Oh.
Straight up. I was stealing money. And he was like,
where is it? No.
he was like, you need to stop doing that. And I was like, don't you fucking take the high road with me. All of a sudden, because you feel bad, you're going to tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I just expected you to do the right thing. I said, I fucking told you what I was going to do. He's like, well, I don't know if you think that I'm a pushover. because this is starting to affect me. You're fucking with me now. And that's when I realized, okay, I can't call myself, I love my people. I love my friends. I would die for them.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized I can't sit there and call myself his friend if I continue to put him through that.
Yeah.
But on the other end, I'm having to quiet down this other guy who's like, fuck that. Get this dude.
Yeah.
Get him.
Intent on finishing the.
Forever.
Yeah.
As long as I could. And so I'm battling between, you got two wolves, right? Which wolf grows? The one that you feed.
Mm-hmm.
I can snap back into that piece of shit guy, no problem.
Yeah.
And I can do it by justifying why I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be that guy anymore. And I feel bad that I was able and willing to do that kind of stuff again, because I've come so far. But I stopped thinking about all the progress that I made. I stopped thinking about my kids. I stopped thinking about my family. And I was just like, I don't know. It was a really bad time. Well, he confronted me and we had a huge argument about it. And then we talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked for about an hour
Your
and a half.
friend or the mutual friend?
My friend.
Okay.
No, the mutual friend.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah. He's not a friend.
Not at all.
Yeah.
This guy.
Acquaintance.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
You know, I don't give a shit. But out of respect for my actual friend, I said, all right, I'll stop. But I don't want to.
Yeah.
I do not want to. And I feel like I feel like a bitch for not continuing. And where I'm from, to be a bitch is the worst thing you could do.
But sometimes it makes you look like you're taking the higher ground too.
It does. And I'm religious.
Yeah.
And there was times just in these past couple weeks where like something would happen to me and I would be driving in the truck and I would turn everything off and I would just start praying, and because I love to pray, right?
It's a beautiful thing.
I do. I love to pray. And I was just saying, like, Lord, please take this over. Please remove this from my heart. Please help me to be more like you. Like I really do know that.
Yeah.
And every time I would say something or pray for something or ask for blessings, I would hear just as loud as I can hear you guys talking to me. You'll never get it if you keep doing this.
Yeah.
I would, but you're doing this.
Yeah.
I could hear it.
Yeah.
Lord, please give me this. I would, but you're fucking up.
Yeah. For me, like, my favorite, like, scripture that I always go on is Psalm 37:3-4, because it says, trust in Jehovah and do good, and he will give you the request of your heart.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So when it comes to decisions, like, post that, I'm like, okay, I know I could get a lot of followers. I know I could get a lot of likes. I know I could really succeed if I did this, but I'm like, am I doing good? Am I trusting in him to take care of everything for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the request in my heart is honestly to have peace with people, to have peace with everybody, and especially peace with myself, you know? And it's like, okay, well, he grants me that peace knowing that I know I'm doing the best I can and things like that. So like for you, trusting in him and doing good, even though doing good is having to humble yourself and not continue getting back at this other acquaintance, you're going to get the request of your heart in the long run.
Yeah.
You're a great guy already. You've made so many strides. And to fall back to that person temporarily, to be able to come back from that is huge. You didn't stay there. You didn't sit there and say, well, I'm here now. I'm going to stay here forever.
Yeah. I would have if he hadn't said anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's a true friend, though, to sit there and remind you things.
I can't imagine what it took. I was pissed because I was like, how are you
Yeah.
fucking taking the high road on me? You fucking hypocrite. Like, I was
Yeah.
pissed. I was so fucking mad. To be honest, at the beginning of our conversation, I thought that our friendship was on the table and we were basically going to be done. But we talked for an hour and a half, and a half hour of that was boom, 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 boom. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I was saying stuff that was not friendship worthy. But because I felt ashamed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other people know now what I hate about myself. And I can't imagine what it takes for him to be able to tell me. Because he cares about me a lot.
Yeah.
And I care about him, and we hold each other's opinions in high regard. So for him to be willing to do what is right no matter the outcome for him, because he's religious as well. And one of the biggest things that made me feel a little bit better is he goes, listen, no matter what this guy did to you, he's not the one that you answer to at the gates.
Yep.
There's no amount of justification that God's going to listen to and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's a scripture repeated not once but twice, both in the Old Testament and the New Testament. It says, vengeance is mine and I shall repay, says the Lord. And so that is something like, because he understands, there are times when things are done to us and we almost feel justified in going back like, hey, really? You hurt me and my family? I'm going to take you down. But he says, whoa, I'll take care of them.
Yeah.
You just be kind to others, love them as best as you can. And if they need to be taken care of, I will take care of them. And I always put that in my head because, it's like, being a guy, that is one of the things we're protectors. I understand exactly where you're coming from, where it's like, hey, this dude's messing with me. Well, I'm going to take him down.
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, I'm coming a similar way. It's like, if somebody's coming at my family, I will not blink at trying to stop them. But sometimes it's like, unless it's an immediate necessity, like, hey, somebody's coming at you with a knife and you drop them. If it's something that is, you can sit there and say, you know what? God will handle that.
Yeah.
I am going to be what God has requested I be.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I put that in my head. Maybe that's something you think about too, because you're valid in your anger.
Yeah.
And it's, hey, dude, really, you're going to mess with me? Well, watch this.
Well, he also says, be wrathful, but do not sin. So he's like, yeah, I get it. You can be angry.
Yeah.
But with the gangster lifestyle, that's still in me so much.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not just that. If he was fucking with me, cool.
Yeah, but he's
But
going after family.
what he was doing was, I'll tell you guys what it really was out of camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm being very loose with what I'm saying.
Obviously.
But what I had invested in this guy was going to be my livelihood. So by him doing what he was going to do or willing to do was not just fucking with me.
Yeah.
It's taking food and money off of my table for my kids.
Yeah.
It's my house payment. It's my truck. It's my family. It's my livelihood.
Oh, yeah.
And it was nothing for him to cast me away.
Yeah.
Yep.
To just throw you under.
And my friend fully understands that can happen to him. It can happen to him. It could happen to me. But he has enough faith to do what is right because he knows who he answers to and who he has to go to bed with at night, which is himself. And it was eating at him. And so as much as I want to be like, you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of justification or anger that I could use to make me the good guy in this.
And sometimes facing your friend, you were actually facing you, the other person, who you are now. So you're actually fighting against yourself.
Yeah.
And, I think it's commendable that, you realize that. You didn't just sit there and be like, oh, well, because really, if it's coming to your family and all of that, like.
I'll hide some bodies. It's nothing to me.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
We live in Buckeye. There's enough.
It is. But that's how I was ingrained.
Yeah.
Somebody gets you, you get them, and you make sure that you put them in a position that they can never get you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But I don't want to be that guy, but it's just, it's right under the surface. You know what I mean? So for such a long time, that's who I was, that now this nice guy who's loving and caring and supportive almost feels fake.
Yeah. I know growing up, like, as one of Jehovah's Witnesses, like, they're very, Jehovah's Witnesses are very peaceful.
Turn the other cheek concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so growing up, though, I was raised, you hit the one with the biggest mouth. If someone's picking on your family member, you better jump in and you better end it, and then, like, my grandpa taught me how to box, and so then later on, like, other, like, ones, I guess, elders or ministers of the
Elders, what we would call them,
they're like, so when it comes to situations and fighting, like, how do you handle that? I'm like, hit the one with the biggest
Big
mouth.
mouth.
And they're like, no, you should strive to not have violence. But for me, like, that's who I am. And deep inside is, like, this person, like, if you want to go, I'll go.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I'm like, wait, I guess I shouldn't do that, you
Right.
know?
Well, and me stopping what I'm doing isn't stopping him because, like I said,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't know that I know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that I know. So I can continue
You
to
still
do
have
this.
the upper hand in that
And
sense.
when and now that I told him, I said, look, dude, I'll fucking be done. But it's for you. It's not for him. It's not even for me.
Yeah.
It's because I can't call myself a loyal friend if I let you still feel this way. So I'm completely done and I'm stopping. But
Yeah.
he's still going to continue to do, and he's going to fucking get away with it.
Is there any way you can back out of whatever's going on? Of course, I don't know the whole situation.
No. No, there's not.
Oh, that sucks.
Not without ruining it for him.
Yeah. And he's not going to do anything to ruin his own
No.
things. Yeah.
There's nothing that I can do that wouldn't jeopardize him, and I would never do that. So that's what's weird to me is I'm a good guy, but I'm a bad guy. But I'm a bad guy with morals.
Yeah.
Certain codes.
So you're human. No.
He's essentially human. Yeah, I always remembered.
Like a pirate. For real. That's what I feel
Yeah.
like. I feel like a ghetto pirate sometimes.
Ghetto
Ghetto
pirate.
Because I have my code.
Yeah.
I'll fuck with these people because they're trying to get me. They're enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're not, I would never do what I'm doing to them to you. But how can I expect those people to trust me? You know?
Yeah.
How can I sit here and tell you that I gave however much money to a little girl and their family, but then tell you I've been stealing as well?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel justified in doing it. Like a ghetto fucking Robin Hood almost.
Yeah, I was going to say Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Like the old saying, I've had so many old people tell me this. When you point the finger at one person,
Yeah,
you have
three
three
pointing back.
fingers pointing back at you, type of thing. Like, there's the reason why that saying is there. Every single human on this earth is a hypocrite one way or another.
Yeah.
Like, so many. Like, none of us can sit there and say, oh, we're just doing perfect and making the best decisions and not hurting other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel bad.
Yeah.
When I do wrong, I feel bad.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
called conscience.
Yeah.
And that's
I have
God
that.
gave that to us to help us moderate ourselves, you
Yeah.
know? And I always remember it's like, what's the difference between a bad guy and a good guy? A good guy knows how to tell himself no. It's like, no, you should not be doing that. Even though it's right there, you know that's not right. Even though that person right there deserves it, the effects after that are not worth it.
I think that's why I'm so bummed out about it is because I was willing.
Yeah.
And it came so fast. It was second nature.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said.
Sorry, dude. Don't put his dirt out there like that. That's fucked up. That's so personal. I'm glad someone's breaking your nose for you. That's dirty, man. I'm over here getting heartfelt. And you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You like gift wrap that to me though.
When we both do that, so I might throw in my own bars where you open it up all of a sudden, like, and boom, you're like, what? Real? Okay.
That's how our marriage.
Yes. That's how our
It's
marriage
lasted
is.
so long.
Yes.
Yes.
We're having a discussion and
That's
we're all
what she
just
said.
like,
Yeah, she
yeah,
said
that's what
traffic,
she
yeah.
said. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't like feeling that way, but I am human and I get it. And I'm
Yeah.
so hard on myself just because I've been that bad guy
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't want to be anymore.
You're struggling so hard to not.
Oh,
do that.
it's eating at me. And I wouldn't think like doing the right thing should be easy. But this is such a prideful thing to me.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, I'm going to stop doing what I genuinely feel I need to do because you have emotions with this. That doesn't seem right to me. But
Yeah.
he's right. And
Yeah.
that's what pisses me off even more is there's nothing that he said that was not the truth.
Yeah.
And I want to argue and fight tooth and nail, but I'd be arguing for something that's bad.
Yeah, and it's just reforming that discipline. You know,
Yeah.
just kind of like fitness and nutrition, like when you restart it. How many times have we restarted our journeys?
Sure.
It's like, but we sit there and we're like, oh, I don't want to be this person. But it's like you fall back into old patterns, old habits.
Yeah.
And to get back to meal prepping and working out and getting enough sleep or drinking enough water and stuff like that. That's hard.
Yeah.
And you hate it. It's not fun. Discipline isn't fun.
Yeah.
So just like with this situation you're in now, yeah, you're going to hate it because it's easier to fall back to that person you were.
Yeah. And I think that's why the saying, discipline beats motivation any day, because, you know, your motivation to be a good person went out the window because this guy was hurting you, was hurting your family, and you're like, dude, I can be the bad guy. But the discipline says, no, you need to be the good guy, even though it's easier to let go. And so that's what, and that's true of anything in life. You know, it's like whether you're trying to be the good person, you're trying to clean up a bad habit, you're trying to whatever, change something in your life.
Yeah.
Motivation only lasts for so long, and then it goes out the window the moment pressure pushes on you too hard. That's when discipline's got to come in and say, hold up.
You just got to be a different superhero.
Yeah.
Like the superhero that wants to, like, you know.
I was acting like somebody that my kids wouldn't be proud of.
Yeah.
When we both know what shit dads are like.
Yeah.
Yes.
I became a shit dad.
Yeah.
And I hate
you
that.
You don't want to do that.
Because it's like now I'm doing more damage to my own family that this guy could have ever done by me losing who I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up. I've been hurting today.
Yeah.
It's been weighing on me big time. Today in this episode in this room is the first time I've had a good smile on me, just because I've been like
having to deal with that and face those things. Like, I didn't know that, you know.
I had this conversation at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I came in here, I'm sitting right where I was, just a fucking on speakerphone. And then the breakdown happened. We got the bullshit out of the way, and then we built back.
Yeah.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
I love the guy, and he set me straight. I'm still battling, but I'm thankful.
It's like makes me think of like a refining process. You know, like when they refine gold, they have to boil it, and all the stuff comes up to the top, go under the heat. So your friendship was at that boiling point. Now it's settling.
Yeah.
And it's,
Also, I think because of the way he came at it.
Oh yeah, nobody comes at things perfectly.
He came at me wrong. He came at me very. You're gonna do this, and I was like, "Who the fuck do you think I am?
You're not gonna tell me what to do."
What are you talking about? You know. So then I got very defensive. But then afterwards, when we started having a normal conversation and talk things out, he was like, "I shouldn't have come at you like that. It was out of a place of fear because I thought I was gonna get fucked up." Not physically. I thought what you were doing was going to cause my situation to get fucked up, and I have to protect me and mine.
It's a delicate thing.
So really, and this is where I really struggle, is I'm pissed off at this guy for fucking with my family. So I did something to fuck with him that was fucking with his family.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing to him that he was doing to me that I felt justified in doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate this right now. I do not feel good.
But at least once your friend told you, you stopped.
Yeah.
This other guy, I'm sure if you would say something to him, he probably wouldn't stop.
No.
So that's what makes, like, in the sense of, yes, what you're doing was unethical, or the bad guy is wrong.
It was wrong.
You stopped. That's what the difference is between two people, the bad guy and just the guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're stopping what you're doing. You're correcting and moving forward.
And so to go full circle with what you asked me about social media and stuff, that's why it feels fake to me, because nobody knows what I'm doing in my real life.
Yeah.
Yep.
They just see the handshakes and smiles on a 30-second clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when you do put forth some of that dark side, it's a little clip. It's not, you can't put the full exposure in. And again, that's why it's important you do have real friends.
And that's what I like about this long form content.
Yeah.
Is I'm very open. I can talk about this.
Yeah.
It's nothing to me. What are you going to do? Judge me? Nobody's ever hated me more than I've hated me.
Yeah.
So you're not going to fucking do shit to me.
Your own worst enemy is yourself.
That's all it is. So I can speak like this freely and open and understand that people are going to see this and they're going to feel however they need to feel.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm genuine.
Yeah.
This is me, you know, and this is what I represent. And I'll give you my downfalls in hopes that I wasn't going to say this story, but there may be somebody out there that's doing the exact same thing.
That needs that wake up call.
And they just heard it,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly.
And that's why if you want to have a YouTube, you should have a YouTube, because and you'll never know unless you get the DMs or whatever.
Yeah.
You'll never know who you're reaching or
You never
touching.
know who you have affected.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think you should do it.
Okay. I think I will.
I think you should. I think you can too.
Yeah.
That's what's important, is I believe in it, and I'd support it.
Okay.
And you had said that you wanted to come on here and do this. If you want to come on here and promote your own shit when that happens, and I'm about
Okay.
it. Like
Yeah.
if I make it, my hands down. I want everybody with me. I want my people with
Totally.
me. So.
And I work great in the background.
Yeah. Dude, do you have any cool like work stories? You ever delivered a bomb?
Never delivered a bomb, but yeah, we've.
Tell them about the formaldehyde.
Oh, the formaldehyde. Yeah, that was. It wasn't so much. It was fluoride.
Fluoride.
But
Fluoride. It smelled like formaldehyde.
Yeah, it was. Ironically enough, I'd only been doing the job for like 40 days. As a UPS driver, and we do deal with hazardous chemicals, and so you're taught how to deal with them, things like that. Well, I'm not doing this route, and I'm doing this route as what we call blind. You don't know the businesses, you don't know where you're going, and this is before we had a lot of technology that can even help you with maps.
Oh, okay.
So
You buy the map book.
I had a map book. I mean, this is how far back we're going. So, and I'm doing pretty decent, and I get to this one stop, and I open up the cargo truck, and mind you, this is in the summer too, so it's starting to get warm. No, maybe not quite summertime, pretty close. And I open up the truck door, and all of a sudden I'm hit with this wave what almost smells like formaldehyde.
Okay.
I mean, just literally like.
I don't think I've ever smelled that.
Boom! Oh, if you know it, you know it. It's a really.
Have you ever like done?
Is it more chemically or more dead?
chemical, dead chemical.
Okay.
It's
Think
like
Dead chemical. It's what they
preserved.
use to preserve things.
Okay.
Like if you ever cut up a frog and you kind of get that weird
High
smell,
school?
that's formaldehyde.
I used to do some SHRM, some
Yeah.
embalming fluid. I used to.
So yeah, embalming
wow.
fluid is kind of what
You have-
formaldehyde is. And so just imagine that, just a wave hitting you straight in the face and about bowling you out the truck.
Okay.
And so I immediately closed the door and I had a cell phone at the time, so I immediately called my boss
We
and
paid our
said,
cell phone bill that time.
probably, and said, "Hey, I think I have a hazmat leak in my truck."
Oh wow.
And so he had to come out there, and when he came out, he had to go through the truck, and he had the equipment on and things like that. He's like, "Oh, it's fluoride." He says, "But I can see how it smells like formaldehyde because fluoride is a base level of formaldehyde." This is because of the heat, and that's what you're smelling. I'm like, "Oh, okay," but that whole issue put me out behind by like 2 hours, and like I said, I'm doing a route I've never done before,
Yeah.
so I'm already freaking out.
Right.
But fortunately, UPS people get it whenever bad things happen. And so about 5 or 6 drivers came over. They said, "We'll take this. We'll take this. We'll take this. This is what you do." And one guy says, "I know this route by heart." He drew out a map of all the stops I had left over. Says, "Follow that, you'll be fine." And so
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, that initial shock of what's in my truck? Oh God, clunk.
Right. So what is that? Is that deadly?
It can be, yes.
If you get too much.
What
if
were you
you're-
too much.
doing with it? Why was it?
It's fluoride. It was going to a dentist's office. So
So it wasn't illegal.
No.
Oh, okay.
And there are things that sometimes we transport that is borderline deadly, but it's just enough that we can legally carry it in our system. So
Like, do you ever have a risk of like your truck blowing up?
I've had gasoline in cartons.
Really?
Yeah, it was a guy who he tested gasoline on a regular basis, and so probably twice a week I would go to his area and 2 or 3 things of gasoline. He would test it out and.
You
send
ever
it out.
like delivered to any naked people?
I not lately, but in my first year, I was in Tempe, college area,
getting
and
good.
you saw some crazy stuff there. And there's been a couple times when women would come, girls would come to the door. I'm like, sign here. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
But the craziest was,
Do you need to help put this in your?
here, let me help you put this in your truck.
Yeah. I got a
Anyway,
package
in your,
for
in
it.
your, in your, yeah,
Sorry,
I
I
got a
forgot
package.
to
Yeah.
wrap it.
Okay, now we got going here.
It's a dick in a box.
So anyway, I get to this one dude's place, and I've delivered to him before. Never really thought anything of it. And the apartment complexes, you have to get signatures no matter what.
Okay.
And so he opens the door, and he opens it wide, like he always does. Didn't really think of it. And then in the back this time, I see this naked chick strapped across a cross with blooded strategic areas. And I'm sort of
wait.
going, what is going on? He's like, oh, dude, don't worry about it. I do goth porn. And he even has me a card of this website. I'm like, thank you. And I just
You
kind of
never
like,
told me about this.
I never
He
told
got
you
to his
that.
truck. He's like,
And that's how he knows he's good with a camera.
that's his his other job.
That's
So,
crazy.
Yeah.
Was she hot? Don't listen. Earmuffs.
No, tell me, was she hot?
She was a pretty college girl. Of course she was hot. I mean,
Was he hot?
I don't know. I'm a poor George of what a guy looks like. You know?
It happens,
But-
dude.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's like I've
No,
had to deliver
the-
to porn shops and places like that. So.
The gay club.
Oh
gym.
yes. There is a gay gym, and yeah, it's like there are times
gay
when
gym?
gay gyms, yes,
Like a fitness gym?
Fitness.
a fitness gym.
Yeah.
Oh, they're doing cock curls and fuck.
He'd always be like, I had to deliver there again today.
Yeah,
I'm
and,
like,
and
where's this
it's
place? No.
I guess it's probably the closest place where I ever get to feel like women do, where I'm getting looked up down like I'm a piece of meat. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't go that way. I'm sorry.
There's
Here's
the
your
UPS
here's
man.
Yeah.
your box.
That's where he takes his
Have a good day.
lunches.
Oh, I gotta remember the name of the place anymore.
That-
probably a
I
good
mean,
thing.
is that a bad thing?
Sure.
I can't remember the name.
Darn it.
I know how to get there, but that's another story.
His phone is like, babe, why is Pizza Hut calling you? That's weird.
When one of the first times I was working on the truck with him, I was like, babe, come on, let's go in the back of the truck.
Oh, yeah.
And we go back there, and all of a sudden this guy like walks on the truck, and he's like, "What you guys doing?" We're like, "Ah!"
Did you get caught?
No, we didn't get to do anything because this guy's like, "Do you guys have my package?"
You're trying to get his floor on.
I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing."
Oh, I'm trying to remember what that was.
And we were at the Flying J. It was like in between, like we had to wait.
Oh, okay,
Because there's
yeah.
like certain
yeah.
boxes he has to.
Yeah, certain
he
stops have
can't
to wait a certain
open,
time.
like people have like the drop boxes where they can.
It's like a
drop
letterbox,
envelopes.
Oh,
similar,
gotcha.
similar to what they use with the post
So
office.
there was
I see.
Only
time
the
to
brown, not
wait,
blue.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, we have time to wait.
Right.
Yeah,
And
now I
then
remember
this
that
guy
one. Now I
like
remember.
got, he's like, ah.
You have my package, not for you, sir.
Yeah. This is for my wife.
Yeah. What I do appreciate though, every season, when the very first day that I'm working with him, I go up to him and I go to grab his hand, and he's like, what are you trying to touch my hand? And he's like, oh yeah, you're my wife. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
I love that instant,
Cute.
like, you know.
cutesy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like those stories you read of the drunk guy going, "Get out of me, I have a girlfriend," as his girlfriend's trying to tuck him into bed. He's just like,
Yeah,
Hello.
I do appreciate that. I'm like, he's not just like, hello.
Hey,
Takes
man.
like later on that evening.
He's technically a trucker, so it's lonely on the road.
I know.
You know what I mean?
No, one
"I get to
time,
go home."
one time, there was a box of like you know how people get like the frozen steaks delivered to him.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's an
"You
old
can go-"
dog.
He's like, you can go deliver to this place. It's and don't mind the dog. She's blind. I'm like,
She was this
you're
old
having
dog.
me deliver a box of steaks. And like,
Now-
I
now
don't care if the
keep in
dog's
mind-
blind.
Keep in mind, I had delivered these steaks to the same house with the same dog, so I know the dog's okay. Just want to let everybody know that.
He's like, here, babe.
Here, you go deliver the steaks to this house. Don't worry about
It's
the
just
dog.
like, thanks. I love you too.
In the industry as a whole, do packages go missing a lot?
A lot, no, they do occasionally do happen. There have been issues where ones have, sadly enough,
Yeah.
taken advantage of the process.
Yeah.
You know,
There was a whole sting where there was like a whole like drug.
Oh yeah, there's several drivers. This was back in probably 2009, 2010. So it was just after the whole
Recession.
collapse of the housing
right,
market.
right.
You know, and so there were a lot of vacant homes. Well, there were certain drivers that they had gotten mixed up with the drugs,
Oh.
and so they knew what was coming through, and they would deliver to these vacant houses. They were making drops
yeah.
what
What
one
kind of
them-
drugs?
I have no clue, and I don't want to know.
I wonder if it was like heroin or something. Like, was it cartel stuff?
I don't know beyond
Oh.
that.
Oh,
beyond
okay.
He's like, I
beyond
don't wanna know, I
that
don't wanna
what
get in
they, you know,
That's probably
yeah.
best.
Yeah, and
That's
one
probably
of them
He
was
knows.
even a
He
union
knows.
steward.
He was one of them.
Yeah.
And one of them was even a union steward. So the union even came up and said, "You do this, the door is that way, and our foot will be in it, in your rear
Damn.
end."
Yeah.
That's
the union
real.
were like, "We're not messing around with this."
That's federal stuff, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that was federal.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
We've all been there.
but yeah, there's there's been other issues. Like for example, there was one guy who up in New York, and for the longest time, this is no longer true. Is we had a key that could literally open up every truck
Oh.
in
Master
in the area, master key,
Yeah.
and all the drivers had one because just in case we locked our keys to
Somebody else can
drive,
help you.
we can easily either call somebody or we had our own backup and opened up. Well, this one dude, he had a diamond pickup where he picked up diamonds.
Oh.
And while he always made sure his deliveries got taken care of, his pickups and deliveries got taken care of, nothing was stolen, he would go on vacation, and for some reason, diamonds would go missing.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I mean, everybody could probably put it together. He knew, browser well, I mean, we have timings with everything.
Okay.
And so, he knew right when the drivers who were covering for him were going to be at,
Yeah.
how long they're going to be in there. And so
Right.
he would get in there. He knew where to pull the diamonds from, and he'd walk away. And
Smart.
he just was doing it so much that they finally were able to say, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And they pinned him. And then after that, we literally had, they changed up all the locks.
So you got any diamonds on you? Uh-huh. That dog's
Yeah.
fucking going crazy.
I know.
There's someone robbing me right now.
They're looking for the diamonds. No.
Hey, we're on time.
Oh,
You got to do the outro.
thanks for joining.
Don't talk to me.
Just talk to the camera.
Tell
Pretty camera.
everybody what you're doing, Garrett.
Why let this motherfucker the whole time? Don't play that shit. Uh-huh.
Like and subscribe.
Okay.
Come back next Saturday. We'll see what Garrett has
Okay.
for us. I won't be on the show for a while
Uh-huh.
because
You're
I'm
gonna
going to get beat up.
Beat up.
Yeah, I won't
Not
have a
by
voice.
me. Not by me. No, not
Not
by
by
me. I
him.
won't. No.
We're paying someone to,
I'm
to break my
paying
nose.
somebody.
Yeah.
So I'll just be sitting and watching.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now let me show you what an outro looks like.
Okay, you show me.
Thanks,
Sure,
guys, for
figure.
watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to support the channel by like, comment, and
Oh,
subscribe.
yeah, comment.
Tayr, thank you for joining us today. Really
No problem. It was
appreciated
fun.
having you on. Yeah, that was fun. It was good to meet you, man. The Sonder Experience. Check us out. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
And if I start a YouTube channel?
I said peace.
No, I'm
Peace.
last word.
I said
If I
peace.
start a YouTube channel, you got to really watch it.
later, y'all.
The Sonder Experience.